Hi Frank, I did your Hoffa on the neural and musculoskeletal. You did a very good job. You did mention the identifiers, washing your hands, providing privacy, and checking the chart. I didn't know if you said to gather equipment, but for this there really wasn't too much equipment that you needed. You made a good point about interruptions. Like, we are going to be interrupted doing assessments on people, so that is something we'd have to get used to, because sometimes you do get interrupted for other things while you're doing other things. You did mention how his grooming was, how well his grooming and hygiene was, and that he was dressed appropriately for the weather and the place. I didn't notice you said that he had like voluntary and deliberate movements, and I didn't notice you mention his position or posture, that he would have been normal, erect, and relaxed. Um, for level of consciousness, you did mention that he was alert, and you asked him 3 questions, which would make him ANO times 3. I think you actually asked 4 questions, so that would have been ANO times 3 to 4. You mentioned his facial expression being appropriate for the time. I didn't notice you mentioning his speech, if it was clear or garbled or whatever. I think you mentioned mood, that it was okay for the situation, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, you did do cognition, person, place, and time. You didn't mention his thought process, if it was understandable, if he could like recall different things. You did mention that, if you asked him a question and had him state 3 words, that he could do it, but you didn't mention like his attention span or anything like that. You never mentioned anything about like suicide, if he felt suicidal, or if he ever had any feelings about that. But you did mention the Glasgow Coma scale. You didn't exactly say why he would be fully alert at a 15, but you did mention it. You asked, oh, I forgot, sorry. You asked really good subjective questions. You asked if he had dizziness, numbness or tingling, or pain in joints. You asked about self-care behaviors and medication, and you also mentioned about surgery. You never asked if he had any trauma, if he had any difficulty doing ADLs or in coordination, and if he had any speech or difficulty swallowing. So other than that, I guess you don't have to ask everything, so that was okay too. You did also, you did do the size and shape of his muscles. You did more than we actually needed for the video. You mentioned that he didn't have any muscle pain or atrophy when you were palpating. You did do the Babinski's, and you explained how, his toes should curl in and that he would laugh, which he did. And you also did his gait, and you had said that he was coordinated when he did the heel to toe. You mentioned that it was cranial nerve 8 for the Romberg test, so that was good. You did the heel slide, where he touches his knee, heel to his knee and slides it down. And you did the nose, finger to nose. You never mentioned the eyebrow raise. And you never had him bare teeth or puff out his cheeks, but I know that would be another video, so for the head to toe, that'll be okay. But I don't know if they wanted to mention in this, because we didn't do the full assessment. You did have him, you crossed your fingers and had him pull and push, and you also did that for his legs and leg raises. And you explained why the fingers would be crossed when you do it, which was good, because I kind of forgot about that. You did have him do the neck shrug, but you didn't do like where you turn your head and have him turn into your hand. That was one thing I did notice you missed. You did well throughout the video. You seemed comfortable doing the assessment, and you did a really good job of explaining everything that you're doing and why you were doing it, which was different from most videos I've seen. Most videos, they just do the steps. You kind of explained why you're doing everything, which made it a good learning experience for me. And at the end, you did mention, charting any of your findings. And then you said you would provide hand hygiene. Overall, I think you did a good job. I think that you'll do great in the head to toe, and I hope you're having fun in Cancun. Have a good day.